Hello everyone. In the last session we talked about how you can install assystITOM standalone edition in a single server. Today I'll show you how you can install it in two separate servers, one for assystITOM database and one for application. If you can see here, I have two separate VM Windows servers 2016. Now we will start with assystITOM SRV2, which has a database server. I'll install MySQL here. Now to install it, you can get the installation from a wiki page in Axios website. Yeah, axiossystems.com/wiki. Then assist11 R1. And the left side assystITOM, expand, installation guide, prerequisites. Now if you can see here, MySQL community installer, you can take this URL and download MySQL. Right, I think there's MSI. Yeah. Alright. Now to save the time, I did the installation before and I put it here. Media, this is it. So to start the installation, right click and install. Now there is a prerequisites for installing MySQL. The installation will show you if there's any missing prerequisites, like Visual Studio 2015. It should be installed on the server. But I will show you how you can download it from the internet and install it in the server also. Alright, accept the license, next, then we will choose server only, next, this is the version and the prerequisite, Microsoft Visual C++ 2013, so return back here, and 2013, download, redistribution, right, then download, we'll need 64, alright, run, accept and install. Okay, now next, execute, product failed, this application required, alright. Okay, in this case you have to install the second one, which is 32-bit, this one, right. Now we'll run the installer. Server only, next, then ready to install, execute. Okay, now you will start configuring MySQL. It will be standalone. Now it's development server machine. The config type will be server machine. We will connect to the server to MySQL using port 3306. You can change it. Now named pipe, you can create a name and shared memory. We will just leave it as a 3306. Then next, this is the root username and password, and you can create a new account. So I can create account. I'll name it root, because the first one here, once you put root, it will allow you to log in to the MySQL from local machine. I strongly advise you to add another account, which is root, and here all hosts, so it will allow you to log in using root username from any remote server. Role db admin, and the password, this is the password. Next, configure as Windows service, and this is my service name. I'll name it assystITOM DB. Start the service and system account. The standard, the Windows service will be run as a standard. Next, forget these options. Next, and execute. Alright, now it's finished. Let me check. Finish. Next, and finish. To make sure that we have system up and running, we can go to MySQL 5.6 command line. Now this is the root password. Alright, so it's working fine. And we can check services. Alright, task. We'll see if we have the service installed, assystITOM DB. That's great. Okay, database is ready. So let me go to application server, and we'll start installing assystITOM and remote database. It will be the same steps, except on the database we have to skip configuring the database and connect it to the database server that we have here. Before I start, I want to check the connectivity with the database server. I want to check 192.168. This is my database server. Okay, it's connected. So I'll check telnet to make sure the port is open. As we are in the same subnet, so I expect the port be open because there is no firewall between. Alright. Okay, so everything's fine. Now we'll start core installation. Right click, run as administrator. Next. Again, it's a professional edition, standalone. We will change the installation to be in E drive under Axios, and we'll create assystITOM. Next, password root, and skip SQL instance configuration. Next, and next. Alright, now it's finished. Let me go to patches. For my.ini creation, as we are installing the database and remote server, then we have to run this installation, run as administrator. It will create a file inside the installation here, Axios assystITOM, MySQL server, this one. It will create the UTF-8 configuration here. Again, don't do that if you are installing application and database on the same server. Now let me continue with the patches. This is the first patch. Next. Alright. The system will start applying the patch. And as we said before, the system will take a backup from the files and database before proceeding with the installation. You can check the previous video about installing Standalone edition, a professional edition, in a single server. So we have to wait until this batch finished. Now finalizing. Alright, so it's finished. We have to install again the second batch 5001. It will be the same way, and next. And let me see the installation patches. This is the previous batch. It has done an install and the whole backups. Alright. So we'll wait until it's finished to continue with the latest batch. Alright, so after we finish this batch, we will start with the latest batch, and I think small batch. Alright, now as we said, this is a small batch, so it finished quickly. So after that, once we finish the core patches, then AWL, Axios white labeling, right click on the .bat file, run as administrator. Alright, okay, now the system will work fine, but we missed one point, which is installing the plugins. Sapphire under the patches, one plugin that's related to communication between agent and the server, Sapphire IMS message queue. So before that we have to stop the service for assystITOM. Now we start the Sapphire IMS message queue plugin setup. So we came from the patches. Plugins, Sapphire IMS message queue, then right click, run as administrator. Then we'll see it here, so we have to wait for a while till message queue is finished. Okay, it will continue installing the message queue. Now it's in the progress to create message queue service. Alright, now it's finished. Now the last step, return back, core install finished, patches finished, AWL, Then the path file, just right click, run as administrator, and then you can start the services. Now to start the system, you can go to services named Sapphire IMS, right click and start. Now there is a dependency between the message queue and IMS. If you can see the service dependency, alright, okay. Now we will wait for a while till the system is starting to check. Alright, so now let me try to open assystITOM. You can put either localhost or the IP address of the server. Localhost HTTP. Now the default password will be admin. This is the home page. After I log in, if you can see, the expiry date will be after around 45 days. So there is a license shipped by default with the installation for 45 days. Once you finish it, you can ask for the actual license from our support team or finance by providing them the MAC address. We will show you on one of the lessons how you can generate, how you can get the license and replace it in the system itself. I will try to open the ITOM also from the remote server, which is database. Now the system will open it here, and username admin, password admin. Then you can see the system loading. Now one of the sessions that we'll talk about is also in the future how you can enable HTTPS. If you can see here, by default the port will be 80 HTTP. So we will talk about how you can enable HTTPS. Alright, thank you guys, and see you in the next session. Thank you, bye.